tell us a little bit about the fact that you had this little camera that you took with you when you were deployed, and you decided, I'm going to kind of document what's happening in my life and try to, I guess, maybe show the people back home what's going on. What was that like, and what did the Marine Corps, did they care? Did they, the amount of footage that you shot, it's incredible. And just, I'm curious what the Marine Corps, if they had any response to that.
Well, to answer the first question, I was actually on a routine deployment that left the U.S. in August of 2001. And these deployments would usually hit like Hawaii, Australia, Thailand, Kenya. So it was kind of natural to have a mini consumer DVC with you. So obviously they ended up on September 11th hitting the towers, and we ended up going into Afghanistan as the first troops in. The helicopters would take off right from the ships, as you saw. So the Uniform Code of Military Justice is the code that governs military law. And there's nothing in there that says that you can't take personal, cameras with you. They kind of never updated. No one ever really thought that, technology had made this leap forward in the first Gulf War. I mean, if you were going to bring video cameras, it was going to be a huge thing, and it would be, something that, wouldn't be practical. But the ability to take something this big with a charger and vehicles having power inverters on them, you could easily recharge. So when I got back from the States in 2002, after we initially went into Afghanistan, I realized how powerful the footage was, to my family. My hometown newspaper, found out about it. I realized that this was quickly becoming probably my most prized possession, something that no one could ever take away from you. So when we were gearing up to go to Iraq, I grabbed a couple of the other lieutenants in the battalion and said, let's videotape this. Not really ever thinking that it would be a movie, or else we would probably done things a lot differently. And Kristian's like,
you would have gotten half the footage.
Yeah, exactly.
You knew you were making a movie.
So it actually worked out for the best. There's certain laws that you're not supposed to take pictures of the dead, things like that. That was the battalion commander, the one who there said, I hate cameras. And you'll see if you see the film, there's actually parts where I'm using the camera instead of a set of binoculars to kind of talk rounds onto the target, or to see if it's whatever's moving out there is personnel, or whatever the hell it is. So it was just an interesting situation. My job was an artillery forward observer, so I'd be calling in artillery and airstrikes, and it was easy for me to do my job because it would have been a set of binoculars, radio in one handset, and the camera in the other, the rifle kind of resting, hanging from my shoulder. And it just happened to be that it was a vehicle-borne assault, so we could carry extra batteries and stuff with us. It was just all these things kind of had to meet. So.
Right. And speaking of meeting, how did you meet Kristian? And Kristian, once you kind of decided that you wanted to do this film with Mike's footage.
Well, he came back, and I'm a graduate of NYU in New York, and I have a production company in Manhattan. And one of our interns, we get a lot of interns from Columbia or New York University. And Mike came back from the war, literally walked into NYU thinking, let me find a young film student who would kind of edit together something so I don't have to carry a bag of 50 mini DV tapes. And he bumped into our intern, and our intern said, oh, you should meet Chris and the guys at Cirque. And we met, and just listening to his story and seeing his footage, I knew right away it was a story I very much wanted to tell. And the trick was I wanted to whatever degree possible with a movie, to put you into the boots of these guys. The film isn't about should we or should we not have gone in. The whole idea is, everybody's going to bring their politics into it. What I wanted to do was show it the way these guys captured it, and the material was there. So that was the trick. There are no interviews. It's as much a first-person account to whatever degree we could with the film.
And I think I read, was it like 60 or so hours of footage that you brought back? And I'm curious, did you watch it with Mike, or did you decide I'm going to watch it and then talk to Mike?
Well, the biggest thing is when he came back, he was keeping, along with the videotapes, he kept a journal, because his idea also was he was going to write a book about his experience. And when I saw his footage, I watched it all. We watched a little bit of it together, but I think the smartest thing we did is we locked him into a room for about like 3 weeks and made him write everything down, because I would see stuff and I would read his journals. And I would interview him, and it was interesting to see the kind of stuff that he would tell me during his interviews, but then when I dug deeper, I would find some other material. And whenever I'd poke him or prod him, all of a sudden all his memories would come back. So essentially forced him to write the book that he never ended up writing, and then we use that as the structure of the movie. So the handwriting is his handwriting, and the film is designed to be that book he never wrote.
Great. And just so everyone knows, the film's going to be screened tonight, and there's also kind of a partnership with Operation Troop Support, which I'm not sure if...
Do you need more information on that?
Yeah.
Operation Troop Support is a nonprofit organization out of Danvers, and they collect items to send to the troops on the ground. So if you're coming tonight and you want to bring something, there's a collection basket. There's information online as well, operationtroopsupport.org. So Mike, drawing a blank on the last name, I think his name is Dick Moody, I think. Dick and Chrissy, thank you. Moody, it's a little early for me to remember names, but they run it. It's a great organization, and actually, helps bring comfort to those on the ground, so to speak. So.
Okay.
Now for something completely different.
Yeah. So our last one is Smile Till It Hurts, and definitely a little lighter.